So you got an old vintage bike, got a lot of old chrome that's rusty and nasty and looks like it may be okay to restore. I got your answer right now. So you just found that awesome barn find, dirt bike, motorcycle, vintage bike. Some of you know, some of you don't know, they have a small corner of my heart. I love old bikes. I have a 73 CB350 I've been working on for years that one of these days I'll eventually finish. And I just bought a 1973 TS185 Suzuki Enduro bike. The people that had it before me had cut the wiring harness out, basically just turned it into a dirt bike, which I'm okay with. It's gonna be pretty cool when it's done. I'm looking forward to riding around Vintage Days next year, 2018. So, here's the tank off of that bike. This tank had an extremely rusty gas cap. It was really pitted and it had a lot of rust on it, as you can see here. It's not perfect by any means, and most of this quick tip video, you're never gonna get this stuff perfect. It'll never come out like it is brand new. You're gonna have to replace the gas cap if that's what you're going for. Me personally, I like the patina. I like the look of the restored chrome and having the OEM parts on there. I'm okay with that. If you're looking to get brand new chrome, it's not gonna happen here. Buy yourself a new gas cap or whatever you're trying to replace, fork tube covers, whatever. Buy it new and install it. I would just assume restore what's there, keep the OEM parts, and this is how I do it. All right, so in an effort to restore the chrome on this gas cap on this TS185 dirt bike, there's a couple products I use. I'm into these old vintage bikes, and every one of them you find, you can see here that I've already started working on the top of this. You're never gonna get it completely clean, but the chrome was completely rusted like you would see here. This is pretty rusty. I think that the big part of this is it's not completely rusted, it's just surface rust on top of the chrome, but you can actually clean it up a lot. I use one product, it's called Quick Glow. Chrome, it's like a chrome polish and a Dremel tool. So I'll show you how that works now. Put a little bit of Quick Glow on my Dremel. We'll start this section here. Start by rubbing it in a little bit, just to kind of get, and plus it keeps it from flinging all over the place. So I get it down into the chrome, and you can see some of the rust is already starting to disappear. And now our Quick Glow paste is like turning a rusty color. And turn your Dremel on. This is also a big deal. If you don't want to turn this on, really high. First off, it's going to fling the Quick Glow all over the place. Second off, it's also, you may end up burning something because you're actually polishing this out. So let me show you how I just barely turn this on and then buff in circular motions. Not a lot of pressure, almost no pressure, basically just the pressure of the Dremel tool with this little polishing wheel on here. And again, I'm not going back for, I'll never get it back to the way it was factory chromed. But being able to get all the rust off makes it leaps and bounds better than what it was. So that's really my goal in this. Just grab a terry cloth. Rub that in pretty good. Looks like I need to get down in these seams. It's hard to get down in the cracks with the Dremel tool, so sometimes I'll put a little bit on a terry cloth. Get down in there with your finger. So what's kind of cool about this Quick Glow stuff, it not only cleans the wax or the rust up, it actually has a wax in it. So it gets down in the pores and the cracks of the chrome on these old vintage bikes. And it actually seals them. You can see here I'm getting a lot of nasty rust. Go around the side of this cap. I'm not going to be able to get down in there. But it takes a little bit of time, a little bit of elbow grease, but you can clean these things up. Rather than buying a new fuel cap, I mean, unless you're going for new look. This is just a dirt bike, so I'm not really as concerned with it, but I would like to clean it up. Plus, you don't want it rusting any farther, and this quick glow that'll keep that from happening. You won't get any more rust. So this rust section here, this is a little more stubborn. All right, so for some of these more stubborn sections that just don't look like they're gonna polish, a lot of times I'll use some sort of quick detailer. You can use WD-40, anything that's you can use as a lubricant with a triple aught steel wool. Spray the steel wool down. And this will clean it as well. So it looks like there's going to be a little bit of black residue. The rust will be gone. We'll still have a little bit of black residue on this cap. It was pretty rusted. But it's going to be leaps and bounds better than what it was. Plus, it won't rust any further as long as you take care of it. Keep polish on it, things like that. Because, I mean, obviously, there are a little bit of pores on the chrome. If you don't take care of it, you're going to end up back in the same situation. But this is going to help prevent that. And like I said, this quick glow stuff has a wax in it that'll keep future rust from happening. As long as you keep it clean and keep, you start to see a little bit of rust, go ahead and get it wiped off with the quick glow, and that'll take care of it. So, got a little more to do on the side of this cap. This chrome's also pretty scratched up on this thing, so. But like I said, it's a dirt bike, so I'm not really that worried about it. But I also don't want to go through a restoration process and then just have things like fuel cap rust to pieces and then it'll leak and things like that. So, all right, so let's do this other side really fast. So I may start. This is pretty rough. So this time, instead of starting with quick glow, I'll start with, throwing a little bit of quick detail or WD-40, whatever you want to use, on your triple aught steel wool. Let's get rid of the rust right on top of this. That'll at least clean that up, which is going to make the quick glow process that much faster. That's pretty much clean. So wipe your quick detailer off or your WD, whatever you're using as your lubricant.
Second motion. can all be wiped on.
So wipe that off with a terry cloth.
And those are just black spots, but I think I can still get a little bit off of that. A little quick glow on my terry cloth.
So this quick glow stuff, I've used it on wheels, chrome wheels that are starting to pit, or if it's a steel hoop that's starting to rust through. I've used it on that kind of stuff. I've used it on basically any chrome you can imagine. But you also have to be careful, because if you use it on something like a spoke that's not actually chrome, a lot of times it'll dull it up a little bit, which you don't want. And that's just from personal experience. But alrighty, so that's probably about as clean as I'm going to get that one. But it's it's a long way from looking new, but now it's sealed and there's no rust all over it, so a lot better than what it was. And like I said, it'll work for the purpose it's going to serve, as being basically just being a dirt bike. It'll have its own, it's going to have its flaws, and I'm sure it'll get beat up and everything else, but it looks a lot better. It's a lot smoother. You can actually run your hand across it without getting caught on a bunch of stuff. There's still a little bit of pitting on this, which probably I may be able to get some of that off. Seems like it's pretty deep down in there, but rubbing this quick glow down into those pores and the pitting that's on there will keep them from rusting, like I said earlier. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick little tutorial on how to use quick glow, a Dremel tool, terry cloth, triple aught steel wool, and a little bit of elbow grease to bring some old vintage parts back to life.